If this is the first video you're watching on this channel, you are fucking lucky. Because I know how hard it is to get into the same space and the same networking environment as the guys who are making 6 figures plus every single month in this space. Everyone wants to hold back information, everyone wants to hold back their methods. But that's simply not the case, especially with myself. And now my friend Chris is jumping on this call to pretty much show you how he actually made it from nothing all the way up to 6 figures plus every single month. And it's not easy. He just simply stuck at it longer than anyone else. Failing constantly. You're gonna hear the failures, you're gonna hear the successes, all the little secrets, and actually that helped him get to the next level. If you're watching this and thinking, I'm not at that stage yet, maybe this path is not for you, simply because you will get there, all right? Stick at it long enough, you will get there. And you might as well learn the secrets, because we're breaking down all the mistakes we made on our journeys so that you don't have to make as well. And things are so different in this space right now compared to a few years ago when we started. So pay attention, take some notes down, and enjoy this call. So I've got my friend here, Chris, who's been in the space for quite some time, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself. So Chris, thank you for jumping on, bro, and just tell us about yourself.
Thank you for having me, man. Yeah, Malt Chris here, guys. From Melbourne, Australia, 22 years old. One of the partners at Malt Marketing. We are generating 6 figures a month profit across many models, many clients. We have 18 in total. I know you're gonna freak out hearing that, bro.
Yeah.
We got 9 female models. We have 5 transgender models, 3 AI models, and we have 1 male model.
Damn.
So Malt, we do it all. We do
That's
everything.
crazy. That's crazy. I mean, some of these guys are gonna watch these, and they're not even at the 10K mark, so they kind of are looking at these figures like, shit, can I even do it myself? So
Absolutely.
do you actually remember like when you actually started, and like what made you start? And if you were like thinking the same thing as these guys, oh, I could never like hit those numbers and so on?
I do, man. And it takes me back. It's heading on 3 years now.
3 years.
So I graduated school 2021. And then I was at university studying law. And I didn't hear about OFM until near the end of 2022. So we bought a course. We bought a course from some Romanian guys. I haven't seen them around in the industry like in the past few years, to be honest, past couple of years. But I mean, any course, like I didn't understand that obviously the way that you sell them is by doing the flashy cars, and they're not always it's not always a true testament to like what they're doing.
Yes.
But as a kid, man, like I just wanted to fucking make some money, and definitely a cheeky kid growing up, bro. So I didn't shy away from the idea. Like it was an attractive idea in my head. Um, and yeah, man. I mean, what was the main thing was the low ticket entry. Like you didn't need a lot of money to get into it.
Yeah.
So that was what was most attractive to me.
Yeah.
And that definitely like had me saying, yep, for sure, I'm ready to do this. So that was how I got into it, for sure.
Okay. That's interesting. A lot of guys come into OFM from like SMMA and everything. So like they actually think it takes a lot of money just to start OFM, but all it is time. You find yourself a model, you set up the account, and pretty much just get going. Even chatters are like $2 per hour. So
Absolutely.
what was it like for you when actually like going from 0 to 10K, and like how long did it take you to get there?
Man, what was it like, man? What were the things that we had to fucking go through? That's
Yeah.
that's the better thing.
Arguably the hardest part, honestly. 0 to 10.
100%. I mean, online business, bro. I mean, and even before I started OFM, I tried ecom, tried crypto.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, OFM was what I really did a lot of due diligence and work on. Man, going through the process of 0 to 10K, it took a while, man. It took a while, and we got scammed a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyone who's doing online business, like any other industry,
Yeah.
it's like learning a new fucking language, man. Like
Mm.
it's very difficult, and it takes a lot of hard work. It
Yeah.
wasn't until it was, I mean, when we started, obviously there was so many different ways you could do traffic, and back
Yeah.
then everything was a viable choice.
Yeah. Everything was easier, a lot easier.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It wasn't until I chose dating apps and I said, I'm
Mm.
going to focus on dating apps and I'm going to do it
Yeah.
alone. I'm not going to focus on anything else.
Yeah.
I remember I had one VA that I was working with and I said, you're gonna chat on these middleman Snapchat accounts. I'm gonna send
Yeah.
you leads, and that's how we're gonna start. And yeah, I grew that dating app team to like 25, 50 people, and that was
Mm.
how we closed our first 10K. So that was
Okay.
where that's so basically the key for us for was choosing one and just
Yeah.
saying tunnel vision.
Interesting. So would you say it's easier now to go from 0 to 10 compared to back then when me and you like starting pretty much? I would argue yes. I would argue it's actually easier now.
I mean, like, are you saying given that we had no premise, no
Yeah.
skills?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest difference is like I remember when I started OFM, there was loads of these guys on YouTube. It was like Shane
Yeah.
Francis, it was like Dean
Yes.
Indigo, all those guys, they were actually giving actual like step by steps and everything
Yes.
was viable option. Reddit, Twitter, everything. And now, like, I feel like all those guys, they've pretty much stopped making YouTube videos as well.
Yeah.
So that space is kind of empty. So it's a little bit harder to get info. But in
Absolutely.
terms of like the actual methods to go from 0 to 10, I feel like you don't need to do a billion, different black hats things anymore. It's pretty organic and it's kind of
Yeah.
like a cleaner road. It's just finding out how to do it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think that, yeah, obviously all over social media and Instagram, the short form. I mean, how big was short form back then? I don't really know, but
Mm.
I mean, now, like a lot of girls, you see them all over
Yeah.
Instagram and TikTok. All it really takes is kind of a little bit of backtracking, a little bit of
Yeah.
reverse engineering on those reels, and then you can see how to do it. But with Black Hat, I would say it's very, very difficult now. It's a
Big
lot
time.
harder. There's a lot more stricter systems. The
Yeah.
security measures are a lot more difficult.
Mm.
So definitely, if you're choosing that route, and anyone that I see now who's starting out and they decide to go that route, I always will tell them, you know,
Yeah.
you got to have some fucking hard nuts to do that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
big time.
got a lot of
Losing all
shit.
those accounts, everything just
Absolutely.
constantly backfiring. I remember there was a phase where I only did black hat,
Yeah.
and it was just like it made this simple, easier business into the most difficult task in the fucking world.
Absolutely.
Because you're constantly pulling your hair, like you wake up, you lost like all your
Yes.
accounts in one go. The models are like threatening to leave you and shit, but yeah, I'd say now is pretty simple. You find yourself a really good model who's
Hmm.
actually willing to make creative, organic content, and you polish up your sales systems, and we pretty much go from there. So even now, like, what would you say your main traffic source is?
Organic. With
Organic.
our transgender, we still stick with DA.
Yeah.
And on the sales side of things, it's a lot more tricky, but we
Mm.
do have methods how to obviously convert them into spenders. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot more messy.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that that's what people need to. I mean, personally for me, I was sticking with Black Hat, and I was only doing Black Hat, just like how you said that was what you were doing. I think
Yeah.
that being able to pivot and understand that maybe this isn't the best route and the best choice, like
Yeah.
in terms of profitability, I think that that's something that people need to definitely consider.
Mm.
When you're too driven by like a pride thing and you just want to do everything yourself and make it
Yeah.
overcomplicated, that's when things start getting dragged out longer than they should. And in
Yeah.
hindsight, I think that I would have reached the numbers and reached the profit,
Mm.
what we're doing now a lot sooner if I
Yeah.
had just accepted that it's probably not the best course of action. That's not to say
Yeah.
that doesn't work.
Mm.
but it's just to say that, don't let ego and get in the way of business.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I agree. It's like, especially in the beginning, you feel like, you're getting such a new like source of information that you feel like you're the only one that knows it. But you
Mm,
actually know like nothing, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And if you don't outsource, if you don't grow your team, like it's gonna take you way longer. So how would you say, how big of a team do you actually need in the beginning? Like, let's say from 0 to 10.
How big of a team?
Yeah,
I would say you need one sales team. So
yeah,
you need three chatters, couple backups, um, one traffic source. Doesn't
yeah.
need to be that many virtual assistants. You can even do it yourself.
Hmm.
Um, and depending on who your client is, if it's a a South American model or a revenue split model from your first world countries, Australia,
Yeah,
America, UK, wherever, then you need someone who is very good with your client. That is
yeah,
vital. They need to be able to speak to them. You need to understand them.
yeah,
The clients that we're dealing with, they in this industry especially, you can't, because it is in the adult industry,
yeah,
you need to be very cautious with the way that you deal with your clients, and especially
yeah,
with the type of people that we
mm,
are dealing with. They can, things can go wrong extremely quickly,
yeah,
and logic can be kind of thrown out the window, and you need to be able to be emotionally intelligent enough
yeah.
to be able to deal with your clients. So I would say
So,
that would be the backbone of your team. Um,
so do you have any kind of like stories of when that happened to you? Like maybe dealing with a client didn't go so well, and that just led to the biggest fucking headache in the world.
yeah, bro, we call it. It's marked down in the melt history as a nuke that went off.
Yeah.
But we lost about 40% of our clients
Mm.
due to that happening. Also, insufficient foundations of our sales and chatting team.
Yeah.
And yeah, that we took a major hit. But when that happened, because I'd been in the game for so long and I'd already
Mm.
experienced this before,
Yeah.
this was the first time that we've got scammed. We got scammed quite a bit of money. It was 5 figures. It was a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
But when we backtracked and you're doing black hat and you got your team to pay,
Yeah.
and you're trying to run your business, when you don't get paid, that is obviously something that can be very stressful. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, for us, we had already experienced it before, not as big, but we'd
Yeah.
experienced it before, and we knew that this is maybe a lesson that we probably really need to get
Yeah.
under control. But also there's no fucking chance we're going to give up because
Yeah.
we know our
Fucking
shit.
animals. You're persistent. No,
Exactly,
I
bro.
feel like, have you even really been in OFM if you haven't been scammed before? Like, how
Absolutely
many
not.
times I've fallen for this like dumb shit, like there's a lot of guys in our business that kind of taint the name, like
Yes.
OFM, when you first come in, you become a little bit unsure because it's kind of like in the adult space. But when you
Yeah.
actually take a deep look at it, it's like a full business structure. It's like any other
100%.
business. But the downfall of it is all these other guys who jump in and they pretty much like, I want quick money. They try OFM, doesn't work for them, and then they resort scamming, which is just so fucking common.
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
even shit like marketplaces, that's like the number one place everyone gets scammed,
Yeah.
even like services, fake models, all sorts of stuff. So I know we've been throwing a few like figures around and so on, but I feel like when someone hears 10K, 50K, 100K and so on, like, do they actually know the difference between rev and profit? Like, what's your take on that?
Um, yeah, I mean, there is obviously there's a few ways that you can go about OFM,
Yeah.
as we would know, and as people entering would probably find out pretty soon.
Mm.
But you can do revenue splits.
Yeah.
Obviously the salaries where you pay them only a set amount a month.
Yeah.
And then AI, fuck, I mean, that's all the agency. So that's
Yeah.
been fucking great.
Yeah.
Um, Um, but yeah, I mean, and like you said, it is obviously the adult industry, and
Yeah.
people might, come into it a bit immature and not realize that
Mm.
this is actually a business that generates a lot of fucking money if you
Yeah.
can do it right. But in terms of the way that you structure your business, you need to have your accounting and everything in line and in order. And
Mm.
there was a period of time where we were working for a very, a matter of months, and we had not been considering what costs are going in and what's going out. We
Yeah.
see the
Yeah.
money going up, our revenue going up, but
Yeah.
as you grow your business, if there is constantly workers that you're hiring or constantly systems that you're implementing, if you're not
Yeah.
considering the costs of those, then you can be working for essentially,
Nothing.
no profit growth
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
while if you don't
Yeah.
really do that due diligence.
No,
So
I
absolutely,
was definitely in that position as well. Just before you get on to the next part, like I was exactly, literally what you just said. Got to
yeah,
a point where I was like so excited by growing my team, and eventually it got to like 15, 20 people. And when it came down to actually doing the payments, I'm like,
yeah.
okay, we're having like an amazing month. And then after all the payments went out, I was like, shit, like I've made like nothing. Like literally, I've made nothing. So yeah, you do have to be fucking super careful with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're it's on a 24-hour basis, literally report of 24 hours. I need to know
Yeah,
every fucking day how much where I'm actually pocketing.
yeah,
It's really, really important, super
yeah.
important.
No, big time, bro. I agree. So let's just say, for example, one side of OFM is obviously the traffic end, but the other side with chatting. I remember when we first met, it was mainly on about sales, chatting, and so on. So how much do you think it's improved since we've like had that conversation when it came to the whole systems and how important scripts are and so on?
Man, it's yeah, I mean, like it's improved tenfold, man. Like
Yeah,
it's insane the amount of improvement that has had on the business.
yeah,
And the importance of scripting is vital, man. You need
yeah,
to have that structure about how you're making sales.
yeah,
And I think that one thing I actually want to get into before I talk about scripts is um I kind of want to go back into what you said about this being the adult industry.
yeah,
Um what I have what I have translated into my training and my coaching for my
yeah,
salesmen, and I call them salesmen because that's what they are.
yeah.
They
They
make
are. Yeah.
but this is the adult industry, yes. We are
Mm.
selling explicit content, yes. But and something that you also kind of shown the light on is that it's about the experience.
Yeah,
And what I tell my salesmen and what I tell the people that are coming into my team is I say that you need to think about who it is that you're actually selling to.
yeah,
So the people that we are selling to, they are lonely. They don't get women in real life. They are
yeah,
trying to fill that gap in their real life, and
mm,
we are a substitution. And
yeah,
because you have to pay for everything in this life, everything in
yeah,
this world, we are just putting a price on it. So you are selling the experience. That's what
yeah,
I tell them so they really understand.
mm,
So the way that I structure I always end my interviews with that. I'll say,
yeah,
why do you think people are using OnlyFans?
yeah,
And then I'll really have them think about their answer, because if it's just, oh, we're just selling content, or we're just, allowing them to explore their fantasies,
yeah,
that is somewhat correct, but
yeah. But
it's
it's surface level.
it's not
Yeah.
quite why they are there. So I
Hmm.
think that is very important. But following
Yeah.
on from your question, the scripting is everything, man. It's so important because it provides foundation and it provides control.
Yeah.
And I think that if you make sales without control, that is just luck.
Yeah.
There's
So,
no skill, there's nothing involved in those sales.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
having control over the whole entire script and the whole session, the whole
Yeah.
experience of a subscriber, that will determine how good you are at
Yeah.
training your team and how good your salesmen are.
Yeah.
So that's my answer about how important the scripting is.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the biggest foundation of my agency, like especially in this business. As soon as because I come from like an extensive sales background, so I was like, okay, whenever I chatted, right, in the early days, I would make a fuck ton of money.
Mm,
But as soon as I hire people from the Philippines and so on,
mm,
it's like they don't have the same level of English, for example, and that shows across through text and the emojis they use and everything. So I was
absolutely.
thinking, how could I actually control that? If I could systemize this, that means I could pretty much take anyone on who doesn't even speak the best of English and actually get them to make the sales. And if something doesn't work, then it's completely my fault. Because
Mhm.
if you go about business saying, if something doesn't work, it's my fault, like you're on the right track, at least you can fix it.
Absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
feel like it's absolutely like the most fundamental thing when it comes to OFM. Like you have to make the scripts, you have to do your chatter training, and you just have to teach your chatters how to give the fan the best possible personal experience. By the end of
100%.
that chat, are they going to be like, wow, like this girl is one of the best girls I've ever spoken to? And bear in mind, a lot of OFM guys are very like delusional, thinking if a fan subscribes to their model's account, like it's the only model account they follow. They follow hundreds of girls, hundreds. So how are
Yeah,
you going to stand out? It's all about competition as well,
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So I would say, what was like the secret to your biggest month? Like, what was the secret? If these guys on, this channel, we don't really hold anything back. So if these
Mhm.
guys are watching and thinking, you know what, I'm kind of stuck, I want to get to the next level. What
Yeah.
was the secret that kind of changed it for you?
Okay. Well, there was a range of things
Hmm.
that did it. I'll go through all of them. First of all, you need to structure your business as a real company. So yes, we are working virtually, we are working online remotely, but we use Telegram as our communication center. All
Yeah.
reporting goes through there, all conversations goes through there, all feedback loops goes through Telegram.
Hmm.
Discord is our virtual office space. So we
Yeah.
host our meetings there. Our salesmen must be live there,
Yeah.
like
Every
absolutely
shift.
every shift. They must be live there.
Yeah.
And then our Notion is our back end operation. So that was the
Mm.
first thing. We needed to structure ourselves.
Yeah.
Um, the second thing is that instilling culture into your sales team, that was
Yeah.
a very big thing for me.
Yeah.
So basically having a culture in my teams where they felt, you know, safe enough to be able
Mm.
to say things that were going wrong. They didn't
Yeah.
feel like I was gonna grill them and fucking fire them. They
Mm.
knew that it was a good place for them to get feedback. And
Yeah.
then what started happening was my own salesmen started training each other. So I
Yeah.
had built a self-sufficient team. And
Mm.
now, we have obviously more than one team, but it's that is how we operate our
Mm.
sales teams.
Yeah.
And then the final thing is instilling order into your teams,
Yeah.
having them understand that there is rules and regulations, and if you break them, it's not that I'm gonna fucking dock you and
Yeah.
you're not gonna get paid, because that's just an immature way to go about business.
Mm.
It's um it's having them understand that you're not welcome in this team. You
Yeah.
don't belong in this team. If you don't
Yeah.
want to abide by the culture and the rules that we have in this team, then you just
Yeah.
simply don't belong.
Mm.
And so now everyone that comes into my team, I don't even send messages out on fucking any of the Telegram chats to get
Yeah.
workers. I have my
Mm.
own little community of people who I
Yeah.
trust and who trust me. And
Yeah.
I even went to the Philippines twice last year, and I saw
Yeah.
them and fucking having drinks with them and doing karaoke, man. It was like,
Yeah. The karaoke part, same here,
dude,
literally.
it was some of the funnest fucking nights, bro, like that I've ever had.
Yeah.
And then it was unreal. And then they realized, okay, this is actually someone who gives a shit about his team. And yeah, end of the day, a company is built on their people. It's how
Yeah.
good are your people, that and then that will reveal how well you were doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is, I mean, that and among some other things, obviously our internal team, all the fucking people at Melt, owners are
Yeah.
fucking killers. But just establishing what it is that we bring to the team,
Yeah.
and how we're going to play our roles to our best ability.
Yeah.
And yeah, also we've implemented some on the ground videographer teams. So
Hmm.
that's been something that's really helping out with our organic traffic. So instead of asking the models to fucking take some reels, we just go and do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's been a huge benefit
Yeah.
to our systems in general. So that's what I would say. All those things accumulated
Yeah.
have definitely led to our best month.
I would 100% agree with everything you said. It's number one, your team is your backbone. You know, I've met some agencies that, you know, they, as soon as the chatting or the sales go down, they blame their chatting team
Yeah,
immediately and they say,
yeah,
you know, it's their fault. And they just, I need new chatters. I need new chatters 24/7. They just
yeah.
repeating and just learning these chatters.
Mm.
So it's like, how do you actually expect to grow? You know, like stop
Yes.
expecting chatters from different agencies with experience to just come on and just change your sales overnight. It's not going to
Yeah,
fucking happen. And if you
absolutely.
don't care about your team, if you don't look after them, then why the fuck should they care about pushing extra sales for you? Like,
Absolutely.
there's absolutely no kind of reason for them to do so.
Yeah.
So there's a few guys like on, obviously like on YouTube now and so on. But what do you think about all these like OFM like coaches and gurus right now on YouTube? Like, what do you think about them? Who are the best ones? Do you watch any, by the way?
I don't really.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
honestly don't. I see them though, and
yeah.
you know what? Like, I don't really have any thoughts on them.
Mm,
But in terms of selling information
yeah.
in today's day, the way that it's done, obviously, if you've worked on something and you're
Mm,
at the stage where you're going to sell information,
yeah,
it's all about your intentions behind it.
yeah,
So if someone has no fucking idea what they're doing, and
yeah,
they're just trying to do like a bit of a scam, then
yeah,
obviously like there's no fucking respect for you. But
yeah,
if you were trying to build up your your network
yeah,
and potential clients, show them
mm,
what it is that you're doing, and then on top of that be able to build a community and help
yeah,
people out, then I have no problems with that. That's
yeah,
like that's one of the greatest assets that people can have in today's day. Having
yeah,
a community and having a brand.
yeah,
So yeah, that's my thoughts on them. I don't watch anyone in particular.
yeah,
I don't really pay attention. I mean, I know what I'm doing. I know what I need to do on a daily basis.
yeah.
And even I want to say this, even like at the stage that we're at, like there's
Yeah.
still fucking problems
Yeah,
that go
there's
wrong.
a way there's a lot of bullshit, a lot of problems, and we don't even
Yeah,
know any like everything yet, you know? Like
exactly.
I'll speak to some guys and I'll just be like, shit, like I
Yeah,
didn't even know that. That's why networking and actually building a community is
absolutely.
most important.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
even this morning, man, like, and with our teams, like, like I pride myself that we do all of our sales. We don't
Yeah.
outsource any of our sales because that is where all the fucking money is made. So
Yeah.
the fact that, that we do that, and obviously you were a massive help for that,
Thank you.
is a blessing. Um, but yeah, even this morning, like there's doing some QA and there's still some fundamental issues with the English and just like all these things. So even now, like next week, I'm gonna get into doing some new modules and get into the basic fundamentals.
Yeah.
So you can't always, quality check on what you see. You
Yeah.
gotta deeper. I think
Mm.
that is the difference between people in this business who are doing, the 5 figure, and then the difference between getting to those higher numbers.
Yeah.
It's accountability, saying that, okay, I'm not just going to pour the blame on my fucking workers. I'm going to take
Yeah.
it in for myself, but it's also your level of thinking, how you actually go about, training your staff and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I
Absolutely.
completely agree, bro. Like, there's just so many things that actually factor into being successful. And
Mm,
I'd say, like, the number one thing is if you're genuinely just a decent guy, bro, like with decent morals, Like you go so much further, because I know some people have this misconception of, you know, you need to step on as many people as possible just to get some leverage in this business. But that's bullshit. Like
Absolutely.
people will actually want to interact with you if you're just a genuine guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and you know, when you build a community of guys like that, we are ultimately kind of like reshaping the idea behind OFM. You know what I mean?
100%. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, even starting out, bro, I mean, I used to ask questions in the big group chats and just be like,
Yeah.
holy, I get grilled. And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, like I genuinely don't know anything. And these people that I'm trying to ask for help are
Yeah.
just like shitting on
They
me.
treat you like
But
an idiot or something.
once you do your own due diligence and you
Yeah.
build something up for yourself, you know, obviously you have more confidence when you are, you know,
Yeah.
messaging in those chats. But you also realize that majority of them are doing fucking probably worse than you, and they
Yeah.
actually don't know what they're doing. But yeah, it's just that toxic kind of kind of community that I feel like this in like OFM was kind of built on.
Yeah.
Um, and I love that you're obviously trying to make a difference in that and show that you just, you know, or you just got
Yeah.
to be a fucking decent guy and just,
Yeah.
yeah, the moral thing, 100%.
100%.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, bro, for this
Of
lovely
course.
little interview. I absolutely, I'm sure the guys will take a lot. So the last question I have just before you go is, if you could tell, if you've got like one message to someone who may be watching this and maybe they haven't started OFM, or they're like, you know, in the below 10K and still kind of struggling to scale, what would you actually say to them?
I would take a look at what you're doing on a daily basis. I would look into your back end, look into your, you know, what you're actually doing with organizing your company.
Yeah.
And then I would choose what you think that you were very good at, and I would double down on that.
Yeah.
And I think that building your team and everything will grow from the output that you put into this business.
Yeah.
That's what I'd tell them. It takes time, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been
It
in
takes time.
business
Not
for a
gonna
long
happen
time.
overnight.
I didn't
Yeah.
think it was
Yeah.
going
It does.
to make good money, but it has.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everyone's fucking journey has already been written. You just need to
Yeah.
do the work,
Yeah.
and you only lose if you quit. So that's what I'd say.
That's big, bro. Thank you so much again, bro, for jumping on
Thank you,
this. And yeah, I'm sure the guys will take so much value. So if you're
mate.
watching this, I hope you basically just rewatch it, take notes, drop comments. Again, in the Telegram free channel, like we do a lot of networking and I do free calls personally with you guys just to actually see how I can help you. So have a look at that. And thanks for watching, guys.